Hi, we're back on the couch again. Another week has come and gone. This week saw media personality Derryn Hinch take his fight for justice all the way to the High Court. It's because of the courage and the tenacity of people like Derryn Hinch who believe that children deserve a life free from fear and abuse. Perpetrators should be named and shamed. And if the High Court of Australia does what is right and what is just, surely they must find in Derryn Hinch's favour and in the favour of the safety of every child in Australia. But most of us know that the biggest battle for Derryn is the one he's fighting with his liver cancer. So all I can say is that me, like many other Australians, are wishing you nothing but the very best. Of course, there would be your detractors, and to those people, I say but one thing: shame, shame, shame. Get well soon, Derryn. We need your voice. The other thing that happened that struck me as quite strange this week was the government put its hand in its pocket again. The Children's Plus program has now gone to Kempsey, and it's a program for at-risk children. But, of course, that's just not good enough. We need programs like this rolled out in every state, town and city and territory in this country. We've got to show people that we mean it when we say child protection should be on the list of priorities. The priority, if you ask me, but then people don't ask me because then I might actually tell them what I'm thinking about. This week also saw my friend Kendall celebrate a birthday. I hope it was a great birthday. I was thinking of you, and I hope you saved me some cake. This week also saw fellow survivor and author Kate Swift put the finishing touches on her second book, titled Nobody's Rag Doll. And those of you who have read Kate's first book, This Tangled Web, or who in fact know Kate as a person, will know it's a very, very appropriate title. And I look forward to it with bated breath. This week also saw my precious Poss not realising that she hated reading after all. I'm really proud of what you've done, and what you've got to remember is that the world really is yours, just one step at a time. You've just got to believe in yourself, Possum, and anything is possible. You just remember that. Also coming up, the Crime Victim Support Association is holding a zero tolerance rally in Melbourne. It is being held on the steps outside Parliament House, situated at the top of Burke and Spring Streets. It is on Sunday the 14th of November, and its start time is at 12 p.m. This rally is your last chance, Victorians, to have your say. Apparently, your Attorney-General, Mr. Rob Hulls, must resign if the general population have their say. They're telling me that 11 years hard labour for victims of crime is just more than they're ready to go forward with. So I really hope, my fellow friends and people from Victoria, that you get your wish, and that a new Attorney-General, one who might give victims of crime and their families a fair go. Victims of crime and their families need to be heard. They don't need to be pushed aside by some politician who believes he's better than the rest of us mere mortals. What politicians of all states and territories should remember, it is us mere mortals that actually put them in power. So anyone needing more information on the rally in Melbourne next week, you can contact CVSA. They fight for justice to be a right, not a privilege. And I really hope that everyone, whether you're a Victorian or not, show up, lend your voice and your support, because at the end of the day, we're all just Aussies trying to make a better life for our kids and a safer country for our kids to live in. Okay, here we go, question time, and boy, I've had a couple of beauties this week. But all in all, the two that I'm going to read this week is one from Marty in Darwin, who let me know he'd seen my last clip, and he was impressed that I was actually honest and respectful in answering my opinion on euthanasia. He also enlightened me to the fact that it's a very taboo subject. And yeah, he says I may be pushing it, but do I have an opinion on capital punishment? Do I dare? Of course I have an opinion on capital punishment. Do I share it with you? Why not? Because there's those that will and those that won't. And there'll be those that want to come after me like they did last week. And that's okay too. What people have got to realise is My opinions come from me. I don't get advice on my opinions from anybody else, so that if I'm in trouble, I've only got me to blame. But in answer to his question, yes, I do believe that there are instances where capital punishment is what is deserving. But then again, I guess I'm not a politician, so that's never going to happen in this country. But the human rights people come out and say, we cannot do this. We are violating their human rights. Well, you see, for me, if you can abuse a child, if you can harm a child, if you can corrupt the flow of a child's life, that's subhuman. Human beings don't do to children what we witness and hear about every day. We, the adults of this country, we, the adults of the world, have to stand up and say, if you are brave enough in your own mind to think that you will get away with abusing, abducting, or corrupting a child's life, we will prove to you that you will not walk away. You will be sent to prison for a very, very long time, for the term of your natural life if I was the judge sitting on the bench. Sadly, I'm not. But capital punishment, it really should be thought about by each and every Australian, because if you had a look at some of the crimes I look at against children daily, I can assure you, your human rights beliefs would soon be as mine are. Subhuman beings do not deserve the privilege of the human rights. Okay, I guess that answers that question. And Darlene from Waterford asked me, how do I write my own story? I've been abused and I've never talked about it. Well, the only thing I can say is this. When I was lucky enough to have someone come along that was prepared to listen to me, it was a scrambled mess of words that 11 hours later confused us both. So what I did, Darlene, I took a block of paper and some pencils and I sat and I didn't think about what I was going to write. I just let life as I knew it end up as a plot of words, but I didn't read it until I was finished. And then when I was finished, I was able to see in print the life that I had lived. But more importantly, it was a life that I'd survived. So my best advice to you is sit and let your hand do the talking, because our mind really does send that information down at the strangest times. And then you start to go back over it and you put it into perspective, and there'll be things that you don't want to tell the rest, and there'll be a lot that you do. But I believe that anyone that's brave enough to write about their journey from child abuse survivor to the here and now, I think, bravo. And so I hope that helps. There's a couple of other things I really wanted to go over tonight, but there's only two more things that I have time for, and this is the thing that I think everybody's waiting for. I have two awards this week. I'm going to have an award set up for people, an Ugly Award and a Bravo Award. And this week's Ugly Award goes to the person that sent me an email during the week telling me that, owing to my big mouth, I should have been abused as a child. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know how anyone says that to anyone. But Miss Divine Mother, who came in through my website on an email that wouldn't accept a reply from me, I have a word of advice. Keep your pedophile-inclined opinions to yourself, or at the very least, have the guts to use your own name on an email address that's replyable to, and then you and I shall talk. I'm also inviting Divine Mother to come sit on the couch. I'd be more than happy to debate child abuse and any related issue regarding child abuse with you at any time. So there it is. It's out there, Divine Mother. Come sit on the couch and we'll see whose opinions stand up. For me personally, Divine Mother, no, I think more Depraved Mother is about the mode that sits towards your style. So that's the Ugly Award out of our way. But now the Bravo Award. And I have to hold my paper up here because this is a really long one. A Queensland MP by the name of Rob Messenger and a former police prosecutor, solicitor, and child protection activists are leading the charge to make the Sex Offender Registry public in Queensland. Mr Messenger is proposing to bring an Australian version of the Megan's Law to Queensland. Mr Messenger and Ms Steinberg will be meeting in Hervey Bay on November 13 to work out a draft for the bill. I say bravo to you both. Now I'm calling on every member of Parliament from every state and territory to follow the lead of this amazing MP and make this nationwide law, not just Queensland law. We need a law governing our entire country that will validate victims of abuse, children affected by crime committed by pedophiles. Children do not deserve to be abused and then have their perpetrator living next door to them. Come on, Australia, let's get behind Mr Messenger. Let's support him, because by supporting him we're saying we from every other state and territory agree with Mr Messenger. We want what he wants. We want to know when these pedophiles and perpetrators of crimes against children are in our neighbourhood. It is not only our right, it is something that every single parent, grandparent, auntie or uncle in this country should be demanding, because things only happen when we demand. And I'm asking you to join Rob Messenger and Miss Heather Steinberg and get this through. If we get it through one, come on, there's got to be a politician as brave as Mr Messenger. Give him a hand. Please, people, get behind this. We need this register to keep our kids safe. I will be putting up all the associated websites so that if you've missed something, because I tend to talk quickly sometimes when I'm agitated, I will put them all up as a bio underneath this clip. I think that about covers it for the week. But before I go, I do have one more person to thank, and that is my family. My health has been a little iffy, and I've been a real pain in everybody's derriere of late. But apart from that, it's been a good week. We're achieving plenty and forgetting nothing. So I guess all that's left to say is this has been Kazzie K on the couch. And remember, you and your life matter. Don't ever let anyone tell you any different. Night all.